Hey all, 118 Set Shadow here. So we're about 2 weeks out from the release of DivineZ 10, Dragon Soul Resonance, which is going to be bringing us a whole new slew of support for series like Drajuled and, let's see, Liel Amorta as well, along with some other various things. Personally, I'm also just really excited for some of the monster support in here to work with Eva. But that's just me. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed with in regards to this set, though, is that there really isn't anything special that is listed on the page. Like, normally you would have some kind of bonus or benefit to consider. So there's a possibility we'll probably just get something that comes out of nowhere, like what we saw with DivineZ 9, which was the Shadowverse crossover with the critical trigger. That wasn't even listed on their page, and I'm pretty sure it's still not listed right now either. But I'll take a look again at that. In any case, this will be coming out on the 24th, and in addition, there's also going to be the next volume of the Skyrider manga, which is going to provide us with the new support card for Dragonic Overlord, and I'll be going over that again later. But something I do want to talk about is a big announcement for not 11, but DivineZ 12, Chasm of Lost Souls, which it seems that this one is going to be more so focused around the Skyrider manga as opposed to the Divine series, where the Divine series is going to be going into its next arc soon, but in the meantime, it looks like we have the Skyrider series to actually handle in this case. Now, the thing I want to talk about here is this. There's going to be another box topper. There's going to be another box topper promo pack, which will contain 2 promos of the current list of cards that's shown here. And one of the big notables here is that Sergeion, which did not get any prints since DivineZ 1, as well as the Koro Koro reprint, so to speak. This is going to be the first reprint of it since then, which I don't know if they are going to do the same split of the shop tournament pack version of it when you buy product from a shop versus actually getting it as a promo. Because with DivineZ 1, where Sergeion first came out, we had that distinction. You would only get the non-foil versions in the box, and if you bought the boxes from a supporting shop, you would also get additional packs that would provide you with foil versions. Of course, you have to pull them. It is still random. There are a total of 9 different cards that you can get, and you'll get 2 per box. And one that is likely to be a really popular one is the Nebula Knight's Path to Reach for the Stars. At least that's my understanding based off of what I've seen in the Japanese meta and some buzz that's been happening on social media. But DivineZ 12 is looking to be a pretty good entry point, giving us some pretty good reprints here. Scarlet Flame, which is the newest promo support for the Skyrider manga, this is going to be for Dragonic Overlord. Technically, it also works with Phantom Blaster Overlord if it wasn't restricted to Dragon Empire. In any case, Scarlet Flame currently has pre-order prices at $17 and only 3 listings. But again, this is going to be part of the manga series, so if you already got the manga and, well, you got it cheaper than this, you're getting this along with it for less than what this pre-sale price is. And when you take a look at the pre-sale, or not the pre-sale, but the current pricing of the other ones, most of them are currently are all above $10. So if you got the manga for 10 or lower, then you definitely did well on that. But if you ended up getting the manga closer to 15, I think that's more in line these days with what some of these promos are at. Looking at where Sergeion is right now, we've got a grand total of 20 listings between its regular and foil versions, and their lows are 30 to 34 based off of that as well. Pricing in terms of the market price, we're looking at 32 for the non-foil and 35 for the foil. This one was interesting, and I also had a brief discussion about this when I went to Rosemont too, because someone was interested in picking these up. Blessing to the Flowering Buds is a rare card from set 12 that is currently around 68 cents at the low with 10 listings on the market. And while it says there haven't been any recent sales, there have been some. And if you take a look, it looks like there have been some people buying quite a lot of copies of this. There was actually a listing for 5 cents earlier in September that had 20 copies that got bought. And then there were some more with over 20 copies getting bought as well. And right now it's available for a low of 9 cents, but there's only one copy there. And otherwise, the one that has the most amount of copies is a listing that has them at 69 cents a piece. Also, there's only one page worth of these listings, 10 listings altogether, and while there's still a decent amount of them, it's interesting to see that these are actually moving as much as they are. And to top that off, there's a frame rare version of this card too, which is short on listings and also higher up. It's $9 at the lowest with 6 listings on the market right now. And right now we're still seeing a few of them move here and there for around $9. It's a beautiful card. I actually like this one. And honestly, I think I might actually want to grab one. But ultimately, when we're looking at pricing, we're looking at $9 to about $20 when it comes to its overall listings. The $20 one has 4 copies if you're looking to get a whole playset at once, but that's a huge jump from the $9 that you could pick it up from at its lowest. I don't know exactly what the buyouts have been for, because there are only about 2 or 3 decks I can think of which really could apply this card. And as far as Shikiote goes, there's already the other order, so I don't even think you even have room to play this. But if there's some deck that's really looking at playing this a whole lot more, I'd be interested to hear about that one. Drag Resonance is another common that originally came out in DivineZ 2, so it's maintained some significant value, kind of like how Freezing Wave has. The foil versions of this card, we've gotten... Wait, what is this? This is interesting. So I think there's a mislabeling here where they actually made it so both the promo versions are listed as foil, which also doesn't make sense. In any case, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but the actual foil listing, which I'm pretty sure is this one, or maybe it's not this one, it could be this. Okay, it depends on the number, but let's take a close look at this. So this one, number 887, I think the other one is 886, so I think this one should actually be the foil one. It's currently $365 at the lowest with 10 listings on the market, and we've been seeing overall the market price has been decreasing, and this used to sell for $20, $30, mostly around $10 too, and then just move its way downward from there. Its availability, we've got a good amount of them for under $10 right now, but even as I say that, it's mostly just listings that have 1 to 2 copies. So it's not like a huge amount, but it's still a decent amount. As for the other one, which is 886, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the common one. It's currently a base of around 150 and a market price of around 250. And okay, I'm pretty sure this is the common one. There are way more copies here. So we're looking at 160, 180 for a lot of consolidation, 175 for some consolidation there. There are a good amount of copies of this one, and they are similarly priced to the original from DivineZ 1. If anything, DivineZ 1 is actually, or DivineZ 2, sorry. If that one is actually cheaper right now. So as far as the common goes, you might as well pick up the foils if you really want this card, because that's actually pretty cheap for what could be considered a pretty generic Dragon Empire foil. Shadow Army token SPs that come from set 4. There's only one listing of this one right now at $35, and we haven't seen any sales of this card for quite some time now. Orphist and Artisaria are the ones that really make use of this. Of course, Artisaria has her own Shadow Army token artwork in the form of the butterfly, but this is the only high rarity Shadow Army token that's available. So if you prefer to play at high rarity, you have to go for this one. I should also note that for Rosemont, there were some pretty good showings for Orphis when it comes to some of the top cut. I know a friend of mine actually made top 16 using Orphis this time around too. Having fun at round 1, Nao Inabe. We had the Akina Myodo and Nao Inabe round 1 promos that were being given out as part of a promotion from round 1 arcade. And now is the one that's probably going to see the more attention overall. 18 listings on the market, and it has dropped off quite a bit. You had to pay at least $10 to get this card, and now it's $8 at the lowest. When it comes to what it's been selling for, it's still selling for around $10 with some listings that are selling lower right now. And its availability, we've only got 3 listings right now that are actually around $8 to $9. They're still mostly consolidated around $10.50 to $11. So it's basically, if you went to round 1 and picked up this card kind of just covers the cost right now. Heartluru definitely made a good showing at Rosemont, which I can't remember. I think it won the tournament, but at the very least it managed to make top 4. In any case, though, with DivineZ 9 overall seeing a huge fallout in terms of almost all of its cards, Heartluru had its height point where it managed to get to $25 at some point and really low listings. Now we've got 29 listings on the triple rare that are as low as almost $8 and a market price of around $12. The other versions, the silver rare's around 23, the double frame rare is 60 with a market price of about 76, and the secret rare has 4 listings right now, starting from 400, and the market price is right there too. Drag Ritter Nirman, which got a buyout for Vergia, well, it looks like it's starting to fall back down, and particularly just when it comes to the triple rare, though. We're looking at 12 listings there for around $16.50 to start, with a market price of around $21. And the silver rare here is around $30 with 5 listings on the market. So it's dropped off, but there aren't too many listings right now, so that one is still very susceptible to another buyout. And Vergia also had a really good showing at Rosemont, and I believe it's going to continue to have a decent showing as we go. And then there's a double frame rare listing at 90 with a market price currently around 40. So that one is in buyout right now. Deeplands Made It, which is one of the Skyrider promos that we got before, I think for the second volume of the manga. 4 listings here with a base of $12. And when it comes to its stats, the market price is around 12, and it's still selling pretty well, pretty consistently too, at $12. There may be 4 listings, but all 4 listings have a pretty heavy level of consolidation, with the exception of maybe one of them only having 12 copies. But the others have more double digits, and one of them has over 100 copies available. So there's still a lot to go around here. In contrast, some of the Regulus pieces. Shroud in Darkness, which comes from the Michiro Hazama Master deck set, is down to 3 listings with what looks like a base price of $48, and that's actually my listing. Then we've got $60 and $80 after that, where my listing has 4 copies, the other 2 have 1 each, and for what it's been selling for, there was actually a point where it managed to get down to $33 and even $29, but those got eaten up rather quickly, and then we saw some sell again for around $45. The current market price is around $42, so the low listing is a little bit heavier, but they've been selling for $45 as well, and I mean, I did have them listed a little bit lower at that point, but they were actually moving quite quickly, so I guess I kind of tapered it off there, for at least from my listing. The Fire Regulus only has 2 listings available right now, and the base listing is technically $45 when you consider the shipping and handling. And it's Yeah, it's basically a $45 card right now, and very short on listings. When you consider that a lot more decks are starting to play their own orders, whether they're set or whether they're normal, the Fire Regulus is one of the best Regulus pieces to play right now, simply because of the fact that it does not count towards your order play count. So if you need to play more orders for more value on your turn, and you're not playing blitz orders for Regulus pieces like Twincast, this is going to be your best pick right now, because it actually gives you some more options while also not being restricted by the one order per turn count. If you're looking to build Varga Dragras Rakshasa, well, the card is starting to run away in terms of value, where it was as low as $6 to $7 for some time, and now we're at 4 listings and the market price is getting back up there. We've been seeing more sales of this card for $13 to $19 more recently, and its availability very low right now. We're looking at $18 to $25 among the listings, and there are only 5 copies left overall on this triple rare. Avarice Wrestler. This is an interesting one. This is played in Heart Luru, and I feel like it's effectively necessary for high consistency to make sure you get toys for children. There are 18 listings for it right now, and the market price has kind of stagnated recently. We're looking at sales actually starting to fall off. Over the course of October, we have seen it start off around $32, and we've been seeing some more sales that are moving underneath $30 more recently. And in terms of the front page, we have a decent amount of copies on the double rare for about $25 to $28. Then we start moving back up to about $32. So, interesting to see. Considering that this is from DivineZ 2 and that Heart Luru is, I thought it was going to be pretty popular going in. Well, I don't know. It's interesting to see that it's actually dropping like this when more players have been playing Heart Luru recently. Forbidal Surrogate. So, aside from the Koro reprint, this Regulus piece hasn't seen any other real reprints. There are 9 listings on the market and it's around 44. The market price has been dropping off, but it's still above $40 right now. And in terms of what it's selling for, we had a bit of a drop off at the end of September that just put it around 40. Those all got bought and now we're back up to about 43. Some of these Regulus pieces are just overall powerful enough that players just continue to see value out of them. And in fact, I know this one is played rather significantly when it comes to premium format too, although I can't say as to how much it's played now given the restrictions that we saw last year. Although now that I think about it, it could even be possible that the Fire Regulus could even be seeing some more play with premium as well, which could be causing that buyout. Can't say for certain, but that's just my thoughts off the top of my head. There's also Blaze Made in Shandia, which, with Basagra getting yet another restriction out in Japan, I believe there was a new build that made use of this card and the new Trick Star package. Yes, Trick Star package, not Trick Moon. Basagra with Trick Star, which is interesting. But in any case, I don't want to go too far into the details because I don't know how well that works anyway, although I did hear it won a pretty significant tournament. In any case, this card has a promo variant for $8 right now, and then the Festival 2023 version, I think, is the original, at $10 with a market price of around $3. There's a double frame rare reprint in the triple drive booster that's currently at $20, and all the listings available right now have less than 10 listings, and the double frame rare is down to 2 listings right now. So if you want to pick these up, they're going. So just keep that in mind. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.